The perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California's sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Oh, yeah, we back like, I ain't gonna say it. I know she hate it. You here, dog. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. We bounce back like a pot of cooked crack, baby. We in this thing like a wedgie. You right here with your main man, 360 the poet, a.k.a. the atmosphere pioneer. Right here on hot7025fm.com and on hot7025fm on IG and on Facebook. Everywhere you can find Hot 7025 FM. We got that. And it's on the app. And you right here live and direct with me. And you know what we are. This is the #1 advice line / whatever you want to call it in your head. This is Dear Abby meets the hood. That's what I'm talking about. This is where you come talk to your main man. Like I say, let me give you my disclaimer. I have not been clinically trained and or school trained on any type of advice columns, but through my living and through vicariously living through others, I feel like I'm qualified to answer a couple questions for y'all because a couple people came to me with questions before and I answered them successfully. So that's what we are here doing. It's the Holla at the Homie show right here on hot7025fm.com, and I am the homie, 360 the poet, better known as the atmosphere pioneer. And today's topic, we got a good one today, y'all. So, like, if anytime you want to dig in and send your topics in and send in your questions or your queries, all you got to do is hit me up at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. And I'll be right there to answer any question that you may have. And if you got a couple of questions, I see you, Kelly Williams. You got a question, we're going to get to yours in a minute too, brother. But send them in, make sure you tag it, send a wave with it, and I'll make sure we can highlight that question and get to you in a little bit. But we've got I'm putting a new spin on things today. We add a new little wrinkle into the whole fold of how the show operates. Since I am 360 the poet, I figured I might as well hit y'all with a few bars to start off each show, but they do have a little bit to do with whatever the show is for that day, right? So today's show, we talking about fidelity versus infidelity. So I just decided to bring into the mix, just talk about a little bit what's going on today, as well as what's going on with today's topic. So here we go. What do you consider fidelity? Is it all about being faithful and true? Or is your definition as open as Latasha and Rocky's marriage, and you get to do basically what you want to do? Would you call it cheating if your significant was thumb speaking late in the evening with an individual they met last weekend, no matter their given reason? If your relationship began with heart juggling, if your relationship began with juggling hearts, do you think you could reach the brink of quitting cold turkey? Or do you vow to be a player to the end? Even after everything your vows, you still gonna have quote unquote friends. And that's the surefire way to defend against anyone hurting you. So that's just a few little bars to see exactly what people's mindset is today as far as getting in line of fidelity versus infidelity. So I always want to try to let y'all know exactly how to get in contact with us. You can call us up at 702-551-5261 or hit us up on IG, on Facebook Live, hit us up on the app, on Hot 7025 FM app, or you can send me a question in to hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. And that's how we get things going. So it's a few ways. We got sponsorships going on. This shirt is brought to you by Blinged Out. I'm going to tag them later on down at the bottom of it. My sister Mara went ahead and blessed me with a few of these shirts. You're going to see these all throughout the rotation. That's brought to you by Blinged Out, and that's one of my favorite designers out there in the streets. You can get your shoes taken care of as well. All you got to do is check out their website. But if you have a sponsorship that you want to get here and you want to sponsor the Holla at the Homie show, just send it to Christie, Kristie, at hot7025fm.com. And she'll make sure that she gets those advertisements and those sponsorships taken care of for you. So, with that being said, we're going to get into a little bit of what we came to talk about today. So, as you all know, throughout the years, I've been receiving letters and emails and texts and things of that nature about people having issues going on in their world. I'm thankful. It's a humbling thing that people are able to come to me and say, hey, man, I need a few words of advice from you. So this particular person wrote in to me and they had a question, and it goes as follows. It says, hey, homie, recently I have been battling with fidelity versus infidelity. It's not that I'm making any attempts to be unfaithful or contemplating stepping out on my lady. It's just the battle I'm having is with myself. You see, I grew up with role models that didn't exactly exercise fidelity. They actually didn't even hide the fact that they were being unfaithful. These examples led me to be what one would call a player for a very long time. Actually, ever since I can remember dating or calling myself having a girlfriend, I have been categorized as said player. Now I've met someone whom I feel completely different about. Someone who I feel not only makes me want to be true, but also someone who deserves for me to be true to her. My inner core wants me to make the commitment to being monogamous. But there is something in the back of my mind that is telling me I will probably mess it up somewhere along the way. So my question to you is, do you think a player can truly change? Sincerely, don't want to be a player no more. Whoa, man, listen. So if you're not in my backyard, I don't know where you at, Dog Pound. So let me tell you, what you feeling is normal, man. So first of all, I applaud you. Not even a slow clap. I give you a real golf clap, because for you to step up inside yourself as a man, for one, to say, hey, you know what? I got a problem with being who I am. Not as a person, not your character, but there's certain things, there's certain traps that if the cheese or the peanut butter is there, you might try to take a dip and now your tail is caught, or maybe your head is chopped off. And so you're in fear of actually doing something that's going to be detrimental to you as a person. So I applaud you for at least stepping up and asking that question. So now my thing to you is, now, it's an old proverb. When I was a child, I walked as a child. I behaved as a child. When I became a man, I put away my childish things. So what you're going through, Mr. I don't want to be a player, in my opinion, IMO, if you want to keep it all, new age and millennial, IMO, you're going through a growth phase. And if anybody knows anything about things that are growing, there's always some discomfort. When your hair is growing, when your nails are growing, when your skin is growing, it itches. So you get this urge, these itches to say, stop doing what you're doing. I want to feel how I felt before, but I still want to grow. So those two things can't exist. That's a silent scream, an oxymoron. You can't grow and not feel discomfort. So your growth, Mr. Don't Want to Be a Player, is applaudable, like I said, but you're dealing with your discomfort. What type of salve are you going to use? My philosophy on that is you got to break down to yourself and ask, like, you said that you feel like this person deserves for somebody to be true to her. Are you going to be typical? Are you going to be that individual that's been put there and ordained, or however you want to feel it? You can get spiritual, you can get religious, however you want to feel about it. My thing to you is this. If you feel inside that this is the person that you want to, if nothing else, begin a new foundation with whom you feel you are, like even what I said in my first few pieces, like if your beginnings of being in relationships was juggling hearts, then you scared that you're going to go back and, break some apart, in a way. So if you own up to it and say, you know what, I'm going to put my foot down and I must finally be that man that I know that I can be on the inside. And I'm going to be true, because it's easy to step outside. It's somebody dropping panties every corner you go around. It's somebody. And then the thing about it is they probably want you more because they see how well you treating her. And they like, damn, you know what? I can squeeze in there. I know he's still typical enough to let me jump on top to sit and spin. He's still typical enough to let me ride that pony. But are you? Are you typical? It's easy to be typical. It's hard to be remarkable. When people have things to say about you and it's nothing but good, that makes you remarkable. You know, what is fidelity? Fidelity is really basically what it is that you and your partner call it. Yes, that's it. If you got an open relationship, cool, then that's your level of fidelity. But if your partner is not on board, is not on that train, then that's a destination for collision. So are you going to be remarkable and you really going to help that train chug along on those tracks that you've chosen? Because you have an opportunity to begin it like, hey, I'm kind of into the poly thing. You know, that's what you have the opportunity to say that. You know, but if that's not your thing, because you have to realize then, if you are into that, are you able to accept and receive what it is she's going to bring back to that table? So that's my question. You know, if you think that you can't go without scratching your itch, put it on the table. Like, hey, babe, I know I fucks with you. I rocks with you 10 toes down. But I think I'm going to fuck up. I think I'm going to mess up somewhere along the way. So I'm either going to A, separate this, or B, say, hey, what you think about that? How would you handle that in the event that I did it? Be open. Open conversation, that is. Because if you're not open to being open, then, man, you better close your mouth. I'm telling you on that one. If you're not open to being open, then you need to close your mouth. You know? I actually have somebody in studio today that is another person who I believe is an expert in this area as well. She's one of our number one hosts right here on Hot 102.5 FM. Her show actually follows right after mine. I'm right before hers because she don't follow nobody. She don't follow nobody. You dig? So, I'm going to have her come in and introduce herself to y'all. But this is Miss Love Doctor. So let them know exactly what you are here for and what you do. And let them know what you're thinking about. First of all, welcome to the show. Thank you for being a guest on my platform. I appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule to come in and just hang like a hubcap in the fast lane out here with me. I appreciate it to its highest extent. And for you actually being able to listen in. And you heard the letter, right? You heard the Mr. Yes. Don't want to be a player no more. And, first of all, my first question to you is, what is your take on fidelity? Like, do you subscribe to the core meaning of it? Meaning like, the dictionary says like it's a noun and it's the quality or state of being faithful. Do you subscribe to that? Is that something that you sign up for?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to be on this wonderful show. I definitely appreciate it. I'm honored. Man, I am Ms. Love Doctor, and I am a certified restoration life coach. I am certified essential relationship coach. I am a certified postpartum doula and a marriage officiant. I do all things love, and my company is Keys Royalty House of Love, and my doula company is a nonprofit, Keys Do Love Mommies, and we take care of mommies after they have the babies and the families and make sure there's a proper healing process in place. Mm-hmm. But this topic, okay. Do you know, I scream this. I bought me a white flag, and I've branded it. I've pressed Miss Love Doctor on it with the stethoscope, and I'm waving a white flag because at this point, fidelity is what we need. Mm. And if we can't get to that, like, we're going to carry on in an unhealthy way, which is unnecessary because we all adults. Mm. So what I always say is, like, I couldn't wait to be grown, like, because I could do what I want and say what I want and curse and fuck,
yeah.
and do what I want. But now it's like, We grown, but everybody's still acting like kids. Like, why are you hiding? Why are you sneaking? Be yourself. If this is who you are, I have to accept you or not. And you don't have to lie and fluff me, as I say. Don't fluff me on no BS when I'm going to be able to see your true colors at some point. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, because I think I was raised and bred on loyalty, it's a gift and a curse because I'm loyal to the core. But it hurts me when people aren't loyal to me. So, and my loyalty and their loyalty may look different. So I always have to check myself. Like, they probably were loyal on the level that they can be loyal. And I have to let that go. So.
Ooh, repeat that one more. Say that a little bit louder for the people in the back that wasn't able to hear. They're not able to be loyal on the level that they're only able to be loyal on the level they can be loyal.
That's their level.
Oh, you got to understand the level of loyalty that they got in them.
Yeah.
Damn that.
Because it may not be there.
Stop you, man. That's almost a word right there. Like, man, go ahead, keep going,
I mean, it's a real thing because, like I said, over time you get hurt, right? And you're like, why would they do me like that? Yeah. I would never done them like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, that's who they are. And that's kind of how you got to get to that place. And then sometimes what I really had to realize, and it got me to a good place, is that everybody don't deserve what I have anyway. So it was probably my blessing that they showed me their true colors and they were ripped out of my life. I may not have understood the process because I didn't do anything wrong, or so I thought, because maybe I have. I'm human. But I'm like, okay, so it's been a whole lot more peaceful without this person.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of more opportunities opening up over here without said person. So it's like I'm fighting to hold on because I'm so loyal, but I should just let go sometimes.
You think you gotta let it go? Looks like another love TKO. That means this not over here. I don't know. I just made up some shit right there. But
That was a good one. I was with you.
I was with me on that one too. So I made it over there. The not was the KNOT, like we not married. I don't know. We just making up some stuff. So okay. So you don't really. Okay, in your opinion, so what you're saying is like your subscription to the fidelity is based upon what you come to an agreement with your partner.
I think it's important to have that hard conversation.
And it is a difficult conversation. But you know what's so crazy is like it's difficult in its own way. It's difficult, but it's harder for guys, I believe. See, I grew up in a house with all women. And women hit you with the hard, curt truth. Like, they hit you hard, right? And, then they come off like, okay, now what? Now, don't get me wrong. Women are more emotionally driven, but guys get our feelings hurt faster and harder.
Okay.
So I think that's why I was telling Mr. I don't want to be a player no more. Like, make sure you're ready to open Pandora's box. Because sometimes you punch, but can you take one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that is a hard conversation to have, and I agree with you on that. So, okay, so now, with that being said, having that hard conversation and, getting through that tumultuous or difficult or, moment that, of discomfort, after that being said, going into that, knowing all those, how would you advise Mr. Don't Want to Be a Player? Meaning like, he said like, he thinks that she's the one that needs to be or deserves to be, have somebody that's loyal to them, but he believes that he's going to mess up somewhere along the way, just based off who he is, quote unquote, internally. So now to you, is that a cop out or what? Matter of fact, I'm going to ask anything. How would you advise Mr. Don't Want to Be a Player on how to handle this situation?
I would tell him, like, shout out to him for the fact that he can be man enough to give credit to a woman that he feels deserves to be treated right.
Hey.
Everybody don't deserve to be treated like shit, and nobody wants to be treated like
Yes.
shit. And that's why I'm waving the white flag on the simple fact that if I met you today, I'm pretty sure that the same 4 or 5 things that I want, you want, right? You want me to come in here. You want me to be respectful. You don't want me to be rude to you. You want me to probably wash my hands or whatever it is that you want. There's probably 2 or 3 things in there that I want, right? So if I bring that, then it makes it easy, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to him for even doing that. But I would say be very honest with her and create a space where, like you said, if you feel anything, because let's be clear, women are sexual too. So she may feel it too. So if he opens up a space for her, and she may not feel like I have to worry about him because we talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he already let me know. Like he's made me feel he's created a foundation. Like you building a house. He's created the foundation because he's letting her know, I know your worth and I'm okay with that. I don't have to front for the world. I don't have to front for my homies. Like, nah, I don't really, because, that's not cool to really love somebody. That's not in,
Right.
It's
Love.
not
Love.
Ew. Gross. To love one at that. What? You are not a what? Player. But that's what people have to understand. That life is not a game. And we only got one shot at this shit. So if you come in and you are in this for real and for life, then look what you can get out of it instead of playing all these different games, because you never know what's going to happen with that.
And I hope, I know he's listening because I've seen him pop up on the live, so I know he's out here somewhere because I actually know the person who sent it because and I appreciate you, homie, for sending the letter in. So I hope you're listening to the words that both of us are giving to you, because I think they really go hand in hand, to be honest. Like, having it's the open honesty. And not just with your partner, but with yourself.
Yeah.
The hardest person for us to stop lying to is us. But the easiest person for us to detect lies from is us. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I can tell when I'm lying to myself, but it's hard for me to stop lying to myself.
Would you still have that conversation? Yeah, like, why are you lying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't turn that off.
You can't turn it off. So it's like that, but then again, I'll tell anybody I'm a functioning schizophrenic, so it's probably just one of my personalities lying to the other one.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, to ask those questions of yourself means you really want to stop that particular cycle of that, of that lying or just deceit, or, even if, and then you can't really just put a negative connotation on it, because for everybody, multiple partners isn't a negative thing.
No.
Like, I was just looking at some feeds the other day, and it was a lady, and she's been married to one guy for 26 years, and she's been married to another one for 10.
I seen that.
Yeah, they call brother husbands.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
and like people be like, oh, because guys, we we all have sister wives. I can have all these wives.
Yeah.
But man, listen, the moment brother husbands come up, then it's taboo. What is this? They don't. What is she? She nasty.
Exactly.
She this. But why is it different? You know what I mean? So I don't want to put a negative connotation on multiple partners. And things of that nature, just because, like, everybody doesn't feel like it's a strike against their beliefs or a strike against, how they feel like operations should happen in their world, So, with that advice being said to both, to him and to all of y'all out there, I just want y'all to really kind of hope you're all listening as well when it comes to the fact of, really just because communication, a lot of people don't understand communication. They say it's a two-way street. People hear that all the time. But a lot of people listen to respond and not listen to absorb.
Yeah.
When you listen to absorb, your responses come off natural, and it's not like, because you'll miss a whole lot listening to respond to somebody.
You missed the whole message.
You missed the whole message because you stuck on one thing you're waiting to talk about, and they've dropped 40, 50 other jewels already. They've already dropped them inside for you already.
Right.
For those of y'all just now joining us, we here at Holla at the Homie, right here on hot7025fm.com. I'm talking with Miss Love Doctor in the building, and we're discussing a letter that was emailed to me at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com about fidelity versus infidelity, and things we've gone over talking to Mr. Don't Want to Be a Player No More. It are the things that people sometimes neglect to have the conversation with themselves about, the honesty within self, the hard truth that people may want to drop. What else did you want to tell anybody that's listening? If they have questions about, okay, I've got to the point where I'm ready to have this conversation, but what if they don't think that their partner is ready to receive it? What is your take on that? Is it that maybe they're not with the right person, or maybe they just need to figure out another form of communication? or, again, understanding the level of, loyalty that person may have, the level of understanding that they may have is another thing. So what is your take on that? If somebody says like, I'm ready to talk about this, but I don't think my dude, or I don't think my lady or my significant other's ready to have that conversation, and that might really fuck us up.
Well, there's two things there. It's like, first of all, knowing your partner's communication style. So like you said, if there's a different form of communication, if you need to write a letter, if you need to send a text message, or they're the face-to-face type of person, or maybe it's over the phone but not in the same room, like figure out the communication style. And then you still have to have it regardless of the fact of if they are ready to receive it, because then you're not living in your truth. It's still going to fuck the relationship up, because I'm not living in my truth. I'm sitting over here faking like I'm happy and I'm doing this for you, but now you're starting to resent me.
Yeah, and then also you hide in the closet, and you looking for other means of you peeking. You got all type of toys under the bed that they don't even know about.
Right.
Or, you got a bag in your trunk. I'm probably telling on some of y'all out there. I'm sorry, because y'all watching it with y'all significant other. They be like, "What is that? You ain't been to the gym in 6 months. You talk about it's a gym bag? Yes, that gym bag. Her gym bag is her gym bag.
Find out that person is right with everything that you do.
And that's the thing about it. Like the movie How High taught us a lot about that. You know what I mean? Talking about how like it would be a father and a son. They want to talk about the problems they have with each other, but they thinking about how to do it while they smoking weed in 2 different rooms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The thing that the bridge that y'all have is innately already there. Mm-hmm. That's my whole take on it. It's already there because it's brought y'all together. It's what's connecting y'all already. So that bridge, every panel is a part of your communication, is a part of your connection. So another thing that I've just recently started, so don't act like I've been doing this for a long time. I recently started doing this with my wife, is I try to eliminate any right or wrong associated with anybody's words. Like, what I mean by is nobody's wrong or nobody's right for feeling or saying what they feel. It's just a feeling. It's not
and you have it.
Yeah, and it's a hard one to try to be able to get on top of. That's a hard bull to ride.
You're undoing. You're unlearning.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that growth.
Exactly. I'm an old dog. These new tricks. Bow wow. You feel me? These new tricks that the old dog is trying to learn. So the thing about it is, like, if you release the right and wrong connection to anything that's associated with your discussion, then I believe that's when the true communication is able to occur.
Yeah.
Because then it's nobody saying like, well, they're waiting to defend or deflect. Because, as an Aquarius, I'm a master of deflection. Master of a deflection. You know what I mean? But when I stopped trying to associate right and wrong with it, then I was able to kind of like really absorb what was being said to me.
Hear the core.
Yeah.
I always tell people, don't talk about the details of it. Talk about how it made you feel. Because if you talk about how it makes you feel, we don't have to be like, well, yesterday when you came in the house and then you did this, and then it gets lost. It gets lost in there. So it's like, you hurt my feelings yesterday.
Yeah.
Bad. Like, get to it, and then therefore they don't have anything to deflect for. Like, well, I didn't mean it when I came in the house. I was just trying to. Well, we ain't talking about that. We talking about exactly what happened, exactly how you made me feel. How can we fix that so we don't let that happen again?
Right. And the thing about that, when you said that, it wasn't like it didn't come off with the way you verbalized it. It didn't come off to be as an attack. It was just like, I just want to let you know, like, you hurt my feelings. Like, they're not hurt right now. But yesterday in that moment, they were. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to worry about what was wrong, what was right. I just want to let you know, like, so you can reflect, think about what it was you were doing in that moment, and let's try not to do it again.
Yeah, because you could have been going through something.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't know that.
Exactly. And that goes back to
that
meeting people on the level where they are.
Yeah.
It's not about.
You gotta have empathy for others.
And see, that's the thing I'm trying to learn. Empathy. Putting yourself in other people's shoes. Like, I thought I was a sociopath for a while because I really never embodied being able to, like, well, I'm not gonna put myself in your shoes because I don't want to feel that way. So I'll just observe it, see how it was, and try not to make it happen again. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
But that didn't allow me to really absorb what they were feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and now that means I'm able to just kind of like not deflect or dismiss the feelings. It was just I never experienced them. Yeah. So I don't. And people are like, you know how I feel. You know how I feel. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
So that's something. Another thing that's takes a learning process as well. Empathy is a learned behavior. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing, for one, to receive the pain that you know that they've expressed they're going through.
Yeah, like, that does seem pretty bad.
I mean, it could be pain, it could be,
joy.
It could be any of that. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to experience that much euphoria?
No.
Are you willing to take that on and be happy? What if you get, you disgruntled today, you know what I mean? But are you willing to take on somebody else's? People like, they too happy for me all the time. So you don't want to be empathetic to their happiness?
That's the one that's the one they don't want to be empathetic to.
That's the hardest one.
Yeah.
That's the hardest one.
Because it's almost contagious. And now you're starting to rub off on me, and that's irritating me.
Like those commercials that you see.
That growth.
Yeah, that growth. Exactly.
It's ugly.
And back to, bringing it on back to that growth. Growth is always some sort of irritation. There's always some sort of irritation that comes with growth.
Yeah.
Like I got a piece in one of my poems. I say, I understand that I learned not to complain for growth. And beg for growth and then complain when it rains.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like
that was deep.
You know what I'm saying? I can't beg for growth and then complain when it rains.
I need that soil fertilized.
You know what I mean? I need the tears of people. I need people's sweat to fall on me. I need the world to put a cloud over me so I can know what I can go through and endure. So growth is never a comfortable position. People have growth spurts in middle school and they feel awkward because, they were 6th grade. They were everybody the same height. They come back 7th grade. They ready to dunk on everybody.
Do you feel like you have them now?
What, growth spurts?
Do you notice them?
Are you talking growth? Metaphoric growth? Yeah, but physical growth. I ain't grown since
we in this thing together,
dog. Tall people get rained on first.
Listen, I can reach everything.
No, but the thing about it is being able to recognize the growth moments. Mm-hmm. Like you can tell when your hair is growing. You don't notice during. You don't notice during the growth. Like, exactly. Mm-hmm. Just like, as we develop as people, we work out, a watch pot never boils.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not watching that pot, if you're not like focusing on that growth and you're just being and growing, then there it is.
Yeah.
It'll occur on its own. Like, you may go from an A cup to a double D in a matter of 3 months. You didn't you didn't do like Rudy, I must increase my bust. You know what I mean? Didn't do any of that. All you did was just continue to let it be.
Let it grow.
And let it grow. So that's what's up. I want to, that's deep. That's deep. I appreciate you coming on today. First of all, coming in, giving me your tidbits and your bits and pieces. And, you actually gave me a couple jewels, and I love it. Like, you got to be willing and open enough to grow and in every area of your life. So today, thank you for helping me go through irritation and growth.
Right.
So right. I truly appreciate you being here. So let the people know where they can find you.
I am on all social media platforms at Ms. Love Doctor, MIZZ. LOVEDOCTOR. You can also see me here on Hot 702.5 every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on our show Let's Talk Love with my beautiful co-host, Beauty on the Beat. We are going to have a 1-year anniversary here next week.
Yes,
so if y'all want to come out and enjoy. Yes. So thank you for letting me be on here. This
Absolutely. I really, really, really do appreciate it. That was a dope segment, you coming in, and you really gave growth and life to the segment itself and to the letter. So I want to appreciate Mr. Don't Want to Be a Player No More for at least being absorbent to our information and our
You're doing great. You're doing great, Mr. Don't Be a Player.
Yeah, you do it. And this comes from a guy and a lady.
You come and lead the Million Man March with me.
You heard her.
I got the white flag. It's okay to love. It's okay.
It's okay to love. And you hit us with another one like, guys, it's okay to love one. You know, they call them your loved ones, but it's okay to love one. Like if you feel like you can be loved by one, it's okay to love one too yourself. So, Miss Love Doctor, again, thank you for coming on, helping us out, knocking out this topic with us. I wish you nothing but peace and blessings and prosperity with your show as well, with you and Beauty on the Beat right here on hot7025fm.com. Plugging it. And so we will see you the next time, and the people will catch you at 4 o'clock today. Yes, and so till the next time. And peace. Appreciate you.
Peace out.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
And we back. We are back right here live and direct on hot7025fm.com. You right here with Holla at the homie 360 the Poet, better known as the Atmosphere Pioneer, right here live and in studio. And our topic for today is fidelity versus infidelity. We just had Miss Love Doctor come on here from Let's Talk Love with her and Beauty and the Beat, which follow me right here on hot7025fm.com every Wednesday from 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock. They got a 1-year anniversary coming up real soon, and you'll be able to come down here and party with us right here at the station if that's what you're in for. So you know we've got this thing called, this little segment we got called What You Said, and we're going to break into that in just a moment. So I've got a special guest coming into the studio today. And Lena, if you do me a favor, pull up the what you said on your phone. That way I can kind of use this one here as well to do what I need to do over here. So the What You Said segment, the What You Said segment is what we talk about is we basically deal with the topic of the day. And it's somebody, whether it be a new independent artist, whether it be a poet, whether it be somebody with music, somebody with just something to say that has something recorded out there in the real world, and they've got something that's associated with the said topic. Our guest today is none other than the homie Lena, and she's one of our, not only is she one of our locals here in Las Vegas, but she's also mi sobrina. That is my niece, is what I call her, because her parents are my brother and sister, and I don't care what anybody says. Y'all mess with her, y'all mess with me too. The homie Lena is in the building, and she's here to debut one of her pieces that she has that's called Almost Doesn't Count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it for you first. I'm going to play it for the people first, let them hear it and see exactly what you're talking about on it. And then from there, what we'll do is we'll go into finding out exactly how you feel about it. So just to recap, we had a gentleman by the name of, get your mic on. We had a gentleman by the name of Mr. Don't Want to Be a Player No More. He wrote us a letter, and he was talking about how he's at a middle point in his world with his relationship, where he feels like he's got the right woman, the woman he feels like he needs, and she deserves to be treated properly. But he knows somewhere deep down and inside of him that he's probably going to mess it up somewhere along the way. So we're going to talk about that with you. We're going to get your take on it, whether or not you've had any instances that dealt with fidelity versus infidelity, what your take on it would be for now, for then, for the future, and we'll kind of go through all of that. So with that being said, we're going to get into the homie Lena's piece entitled Almost Doesn't Count, right here on hot7025fm.com with Holla at the Homie.
Is it possible to grieve the future? To miss something that never happened? Is it possible to have a fond memory of things that never were? To reminisce on a future that doesn't exist? Answer me this. How is it that I can miss what we never became? I long for the days when you joked about giving me your last name, not knowing you had someone at home with that. Where you were taking me, only you could answer that. But let me ask you, what was it about me? You said you never done this before, and on some days I wanted to believe you, but your lies were too smooth. What was it about me that made you cave? What was it about me that made you step out on the promises that you made? Was it my waist? My curls, 'cause I know you had a thing for that. Was it my smart mouth? Or was I just something new to look at? Was it because I didn't walk away after I knew? I tried to hold it down, but you started acting brand new. Was this shit all in my head? Because you went out of your way for me. An hour and 15, so I know this was always more than anything you've ever told her. You can't tell the truth though, 'cause that'll start a war. I saw forever in you because you placed forevers in me. I still search for traces of you. Our souls felt the same. I think maybe we came from the same place. And somehow I missed the plans that we never made. They were set in stone though. I think you were just too afraid. Too afraid to jump ship. Baby mama drama that comes with guilt trips. But I can remember the way you felt. The way you told me I was the best sex you ever had. Pillow talk or not, that shit made me melt. I know you loved the way this felt. We almost never made it. Always think of you when I'm faded. Shit. We almost never made it. And I guess they say that
almost doesn't count.
Almost doesn't count.
Yes, Pluto.
Almost doesn't count. Oh, so all y'all that out there that heard this piece, I hope y'all were tuned in to the words that she was using. Because she said that, this is a situation where I'm going to let her talk about it, but the words in this put me in a whole different place of where I thought this was going to go based off the title, where it says almost didn't count. But at the end, she was like, we almost never made it. So I'm going to touch on that as well, because at the end it says, but I guess they say almost doesn't count. So I'm going to welcome her to the show, the homie Lena. Welcome to the show. Mi sobrina Lena. What's up, baby girl? How you feeling today?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm happy
Good.
to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Yeah. For y'all that don't know, she's relatively reserved and shy. So for her being here right now is really a big thing. So, you know, Unc's happy. Theo is happy right now. Theo is happy right now. So
everybody knows I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do. So.
That's what's up. So first, tell us a little bit about, you know, not even about the piece. Tell us a little bit about you. Give us a little bit about, you know, you're a poet, but you know, also you're a entrepreneur. You got a lot of things going on. But with that being said, like, how does that play a role? How do all the things in your life, as well as I know life experiences, but how do all the other things that you're balancing in your life play a role in like how you write and things of that nature?
It's a lot. It's hard. I think, like you said, balance is the biggest thing for me. Trying to find the time in between moments. Unfortunately, I'm the type of person that I can only write when I feel like things are wrong. It's hard for me. I've tried to write when I'm happy, and it's not the best. It's doesn't come out as naturally. It feels almost forceful. So for me, I feel like I have to experience life in order to actually be able to write and talk about it and write my poetry and all that stuff. So I think being able to balance it all and just finding the moments when I feel called to do it rather than forcing myself to do it has been able to help me appreciate it for what it is and let it come naturally. But yeah, just trying to live life and find new things to write about. That's just how it goes for me.
And you know what? And that really shows in your writing to me, because, you know, I'm a writer, so I'm able to kind of like evaluate in a way like where I know it's not forced, where I feel it's not forced. Like even in the world of like acting or anywhere, you can tell when somebody's just acting and not being and becoming the character. Yeah. You know, these different writings that you have, these are just different pages of your life, of the different chapters in your book of life. So, you know, you don't have to be that same person over and over again, but you can be. You can bounce back and reflect and, you know, go back and forth. That's why I love they call it the book of life. So now let's dive in. Almost doesn't count. So, you know, you said a couple things in there, you know, baby mama drama. So tell me a little bit about where'd this piece come from?
So this piece came from, I want to say maybe 3 years. I started talking to someone that I had met on one of these apps, on one of these dating apps that I'll probably will not continue to use ever again in my life. But yeah, I mean, it went well. He would travel here for work, and we kind of connected, and we sparked an energy. We talked, we FaceTime, we did all this stuff. We were basically dating from a distance in a sense. And then I found out he was married.
Oh, not
like a 11-month-old baby.
Wait, so not like, you know, like I call her wifey.
No, like they live together.
Like band on the finger when he's at home type thing.
Yeah, and FaceTiming me from his house, claiming he's a single dad, and obviously
wait. Hold on. He would FaceTime like he was a single dad.
Yeah.
So give me some feedback. So what made you drink that Kool-Aid? Like, you know, it's little baby. Like, was it the euphoric feeling that he gave you, or was it just, did he just have that game, or like?
It's a little bit of all of it.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I mean, I'd be contradicting myself as a woman to say we don't all fall for some type of game, you know?
We all do.
But yeah, not so often, but yeah, he had a good game, and it wasn't even so much of that. It was just he had an answer to everything I asked, you know? And for me, like you said earlier, I'm shy, I'm reserved, I'm to myself. It takes a lot for me to even put the energy into dating someone, just because I've had such a big experience with things going wrong when it comes to dating. And being vulnerable, period. So for me, even being able to like own up and ask those questions and try to dig deeper and having those answers often ready, I was like, oh, okay, so I guess, I mean, it is what it is, you know. I believed it. I honestly, like, looking back now, I don't understand how I believed it, but I did, and it happened. But yeah, everything was cool. Everything was great. We met up, and then I get a message, and it's like, yeah, you're talking to my husband. And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, so he dropped the ball. He fumbled. He allowed us. And it's probably because he was falling for you, too. So he got a little lax, you know.
It could be.
Well, it could be. It could be. Either the case, like, now, do you feel like that was, you know, in hindsight, do you feel like it was predatory? Do you feel like what do you feel like? What do you think of him as, like, you know?
Other than a piece of shit. No, I mean, I feel like predatory is such a heavy word to use, but it is a good word to use, you know? And I try to use that even with the biggest grain of salt, because I still try to find the best in everybody, and I think that's probably part of my flaw there. But I mean, if you're on these apps and you have a whole wife and kid at home, what else are you other than predatory?
Right, yeah.
You know, you're traveling for 3 months at a time, doing this, doing that here, but he was building the stadium. And so, you know, like, you're not on there just to spark conversation with somebody, you know what I mean? And so in a way, yeah, it felt predatory. It felt like I wouldn't say singled out, because I'm sure there's other women he's tried to do it to, but I felt like I was taken advantage of because I'm on a completely opposite side of, you know, not knowing anything, you know, especially because he doesn't live here, so I can stalk him.
Yeah, I know. So, like, when writing this, like, what headspace were you in when you wrote this piece?
I was in a vulnerable headspace, which is really hard for me. They say, I mean, so I've read that, you know, vulnerability is the only, it's the only authentic state.
Ooh.
Right? So me writing that came from me being vulnerable, me wanting questions answered, me wanting to understand the logic behind it all. Even after she found out, like, it was more, not something that I'm super proud of now, but me still trying to understand, me trying to get answers, me not having that closed off mentality of like, oh, I should cut this off. It's like, no, well, why are you doing this? Like, what? Like what just happened the last 3 months?
You dove in. You went 10 toes in, like straight in. Like, okay.
At least emotions wise, for sure.
And that's the hardest pool to climb out of. The emotional pool is hard to get out. It's like slow sand, not quicksand, slow sand.
Exactly.
Because the more you fight, you go in, but you stay stuck in one spot. You never know where you are with emotions and stuff like that. So, now, you know, we've all heard that, you know, like, hindsight is 20/20. How do you, like you said, you said you were trying then to figure out how you felt about it. How do you feel about the situation now?
I feel so disconnected from even who I was during that time, which is the only reason why I feel comfortable enough even to talk about it, because this was like something that I was like, you know, again, headspace. I wanted my revenge to not be negative. I didn't want it to be personal. I wanted it to be creative, right? I wanted my revenge to be creative. Exactly. And I wanted to be able to just say how I felt and, you know, take my stance and just let it out there, whether I get a response, whether I don't. Not that I was looking for one anyways, but I feel disconnected from it in a sense that I don't necessarily agree with all of the decisions that I made during that time. So I do think that whole hindsight 20/20 is one. I look back on it now and I don't recognize the situation. I don't recognize who I was. I don't even understand how I believed a lot of everything. So, yeah, definitely 2020 for sure.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you for coming on here, at least being vulnerable with us. Before we get you out of here, let the people know where they can find you.
Yes.
And
so my handle is the Homie Lina, TheHomielina, on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And we look forward to hearing more of your stuff. And they can find you on Apple Music, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. So look up the Homie Lina. Yeah. Look up the Homie Lina. She's got some Lotus information for you on there. Absolutely. So we appreciate you coming in. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
I love you, Sabrina. I appreciate you for stepping outside your shell for me as always. And for all those out there inside the world that's out there checking us out, make sure you can always find me Make sure you can always find me right here on hot7025fm.com. If you need questions answered, email me at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. And you can always call us up at 702-551-5261. Until next time, peace and blessings. I've been your man, Holla at the Homie, the Atmosphere Pioneer, 360 the Poet. Holla at y'all in a minute.